Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Beached Club. I'm Sherilyn Korber. I'm an indie author and the author of the paranormal series Beached, which takes place in the fictional upscale beach town of Bonfire Beach, South Carolina. You can purchase my books on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, Google Play, and Kobo. And if you'd like a personalized signed copy, you can contact me and order from me directly. I'm happy to do that for you. The first two books in the series are out now, and I've spent this summer working on the third book. Every Friday evening, I've been posting videos sharing fun backstory and detail about my favorite characters and places in the beached world, and giving updates on the progress of Book 3, and I've held giveaways. And tonight is the Friday of Labor Day weekend here in the U.S., which is the unofficial end of summer. So tonight is our last summer weekend kickoff here at the Beached Club. This is our summer 2022 finale, so it's going to be a little bit different. Tonight I'll be talking about one last favorite character in the series, Craig Becker, who was kind of the pseudo-stepfather to my main character in life and has become his kind of otherworldly spiritual guide after death. After that, I'll be doing a title reveal of the new book as well as a live read of a portion of the first scene of the first chapter, and then there will be one last huge giveaway for the summer. So I'm very glad that you're here to close out the summer with me. And with that, let's kick off our Beach Club finale. So, Craig Becker. Last week, we met Bonnie, who is the mother of my main character, Stacy Storm, and who has spent her adult life enjoying the company of many male suitors. Craig was one of those suitors. He moved into the rental house where Bonnie lived with Stacy when Stacy was around 13 or 14 years old, just as most of the men before him had done. And he moved out less than a year later, just as most of the men before him had done also. However, while he was there, while he was in a relationship with Bonnie, he took it upon himself to be a role model for Stacy and a father figure, unlike any of the men before him had done. If you have read either or both books in the Beach series so far, you know that Stacy is an animal lover, and that, especially in Book 2, animals are becoming a very big part of the story. It was Craig who introduced that love for animals to Stacy. Craig worked for animal control, and one night brought home a rescued Rottweiler who had been severely injured in a dogfight to nurse her back to health. She was Stacy's first pet, and inside scoop, this was not a coincidence. It's not a fluke that Craig and animals are linked, just so you know. Anyway, after Craig and Bonnie broke up and Craig moved out, he still made a point to remain a part of Stacy's life and be the father figure that Stacy had never had. And Stacy adored Craig. When he was 16, Craig was killed in a car accident, and Stacy grieved as hard as if he had just lost a true father for months afterward. After he first saw these creepy, scary robed figures at the bottom of his high school swimming pool, and he and his best friend Derek began really trying to delve into what that meant and what exactly Stacy's psychic abilities might be, Stacy's first attempt at contacting the other side involved searching for Craig. Years later, when he meets the United Methodist pastor who becomes his mentor in dealing with those figures, which turn out to be the soul collectors, he has a dream about Craig, in which Craig gives him enough clues that he ultimately seeks the pastor out and learns what it is he's dealing with and what his role is. He firmly believes that Craig sent the pastor to him. And once his psychic career, so to speak, gets underway, Craig comes to him on a regular basis in dreams and tells him to be careful about what he's dealing with. This first season of the Beached series is about Stacy's fall from grace after his psychic gift disappears and he becomes a fraud and fakes it for millions of people around the world. And both the pastor and Craig feel that Stacy wasn't careful, that he perhaps took on too many evil attributes of the soul collectors and was using his gift for his own gain. The pastor has taken more of a confrontational, tough love approach in trying to steer Stacy back to the straight and narrow. Craig has essentially become both Stacy's subconscious and a beacon of hope when he visits now. From beyond the grave, he loves Stacy like his own son, and he believes in Stacy's ability to know the right thing and to do the right thing. He also knows that everything happens the way it's supposed to. In the second book, Beached 102, Low Tide, Stacy is really struggling with having lost everything and having wound up with nothing in a town that doesn't want him there and makes no secret of it. Craig knows that there is a reason for that, and that there are things that Stacy needs to learn that he wouldn't have learned had he continued on the path that he was. There are things that Stacy needs to do that he wouldn't have been able to do had he continued on that path. So Craig is really the backstory, not the backstory, I'm sorry, the backbone of the story in season 1. And we began to see the gradual reveal of that plan to Stacy at the end of book 2. Craig is one of my favorite characters for a whole slew of reasons, the biggest one being that Craig is everything good. There's a lot of darkness in Stacy's world, there always has been. He's had a tough life. Craig was really the first good person and the first good thing to ever happen to him. And now, when things have gotten rough again, there's still that goodness there for him. He relies on Craig just as much now as he did when Craig was alive. And how true is that for a lot of people in the world? How many of us still pray to or call upon loved ones who have passed away and ask for guidance or advice or for comfort? How many of us can say that those loved ones have come to us in some way, a lot of times in dreams, and given us signs as to what we should do or given us faith and hope? Craig is that person for Stacy, and Craig as a person was and is truly good. That comes through in every conversation he has with Stacy, before and after. There had to be a pure counterpart to the Soul Collectors and to Stacy's battle. The pastor is a good man. He is another of my favorites, and I'll address him in a minute. He has filled that earthly void that Craig left in Stacy's life, and Stacy considers him to be a second father figure. But the pastor is human. The pastor is not perfect. For all intents and purposes, Craig is. He never judges. He never criticizes Stacy. He offers unconditional love. He's a safe haven that Stacy needs, and it's going to be very interesting to watch this relationship play out over the next few books. As for the pastor, Pastor Mike Reynolds, I did think about devoting a video to the pastor. However, I decided not to, because for a while now, I have been considering going a different route with him, and here is why. There's a massive backstory to his character that even I don't fully know yet. The pastor knew about the Soul Collectors. He knew what they were. He knew exactly what Stacy was talking about when Stacy came to him out of the blue, talking about these things that live in water. How did he know that? How did he know what Stacy was and is? How did he know what Stacy was supposed to do with them? Where did all of this knowledge come from? What exactly is the pastor's story? And so I've decided to, at some point, explore the pastor on his own and tell his story separately in some form or fashion. I'm not quite sure of any other details beyond that, but I can tell you that I don't know when, but the pastor's story is coming. And you heard it here first. Speaking of stories that are coming, perfect lead-in, right? It is time for the title reveal for the 3rd book in the Beached series. The cover isn't finished yet. My cover designer is still working on it, so pay attention to my social media for that reveal when it comes in the future. But I promised several weeks ago that if the cover wasn't finished in time, I would still do the title reveal here. I went back and forth between this title and another one, and the more I wrote and outlined, the more this one just fits perfectly. So the one I didn't choose will actually probably be used for the 4th book. But as for the 3rd book, it will be Beached 103, 3rd book in season 1. Remember, I explained that whole numbering system in the first video. Beached 103, Still Waters. I didn't get the book finished, as I had dearly hoped and wanted to do, but I did accomplish this, and I do have a portion of Chapter 1 of Still Waters to read for you tonight. Keep in mind, please, that this will be put through the editing and rewrite process along with the rest of the book once the first draft is finished, so this is not necessarily set in stone. In fact, I already want to change it up a little bit. I also couldn't include the scenes before and after this one as of now, because they go into a key event that I don't want to reveal just yet. I've got to keep some surprises, and I did a big reveal earlier this summer when I read a part of another chapter, so that's the only big reveal you get for now. But there are a lot of little hints in this scene, this one scene. There's a lot going on that you might want to look for and pay attention to and remember. Plus it involves Craig, so it's fitting for tonight. So are you ready for the beginning of Book 3, Beached 103, Still Waters? Here we go. Stacy Storm had never liked the boardwalk, or even the concept of the boardwalk of any kind, for the simple fact that in order to have a boardwalk, you had to have water. It keeps you safe, you know. Stacy glanced dubiously at the man who strolled beside him, as relaxed as Stacy was tensed. "No, I don't know," he stated. Craig chuckled. He clasped his hands behind his back and easily navigated the splintered holes in the rotting boardwalk while wearing faded Birkenstock sandals that Stacy didn't remember him owning years ago when he was alive. Stacy's own size 12 feet, which tripped him up on a daily basis, stepped carefully in steel-toed boots that at least provided ankle stability, if not reassurance. The ocean rushed in underneath, gushing and foaming through the ever-widening gaps in the wood. Stacy cringed. It can't get you, Stacy. Like hell. Is that what you think this is? Why was Craig playing dumb? Stacy wondered. Craig knew better than anyone what water was and what water meant in Stacy's world. But more importantly, why did Stacy not feel the sense of security his talks with Craig normally brought? Every instinct went on alert. What's different? He asked warily. What do you mean? Eleanor! Stacy lunged, making a grab for the plump black cat who typically spent their walks weaving in and out between their ankles, but who was now crouched at the disintegrating edge of a crater through which murky seawater spewed over her furry toes. He felt the sodden wood give beneath his feet as he snatched Eleanor up and desperately scrambled for the far edge of the boardwalk where the footing felt slightly more solid. Craig maintained his course, ambling down the center of the walkway as though serenely oblivious to the violent destruction taking place. What's going on? Stacy demanded. I can't tell you that. You're trying to kill me! Betrayal flooded through him like a raging tide. It swept away the unwavering faith and trust he'd always placed in his dead stepfather's guidance, just as the sea swept a number of wooden planks into its unseen depths, where they lurked. Why? Stacy shouted. Why are you trying to kill me? I'm not trying to kill you. You are! Then what's going on? Craig glanced over at him, as did the orange cat, who draped across his broad shoulders like a scarf. There's more, he said calmly. More of this? More. More what? Craig, I can't. You have to. But I don't understand. Eleanor squirmed in his arms, uncharacteristically agitated, and Stacy grappled to keep a hold of her. The ocean swirled like a whirlpool just beneath the thick soles of his boots. You said I was safe, he accused. You said this keeps me safe. It does, and so will I. But there's more. Craig reached up to place one hand protectively on the orange cat and met Stacy's frantic gaze with a level, laser-focused stare of his own. It's coming. What do you think? Are you intrigued? I hope so. I am excited about this book. And now that summer's over and all of my other summer projects are completed, this is going to be my sole focus until the book is written. And I am really looking forward to being able to completely immerse myself in the beached world again. I have missed that. It's been a while. And I will be giving updates on my Facebook and Instagram pages as to the progress of the book. As for what's coming next with the Beach Club, what we're doing right here, don't go away. I will give you that scoop after we do our last giveaway of the summer. So, since this is the summer finale, it only seems right to make tonight's giveaway one giant haul of all of the giveaway prizes that we have had this summer. The Bonfire Beach decal. Again, sorry about that. Got upside down. This is what you get. This is what you get. This is what it looks like on paper. So the Bonfire Beach decal. Personalized signed copies of Book 1 and Book 2. The Cafe Peach Street coffee mug, if you can see it, still working on getting the angles, there you go. The Cafe Peach Street t-shirt, which comes in different colors. If you don't like this color, that does come, there we go, you can see it. Cafe Peach Street t-shirt comes in different colors, you get to choose. And the halftime, I forgot to put paper in this, halftime sports bar pint glass, there you go. There we go. At some point I'll learn this. You get this too. Both the mug and the pint glass and the t-shirt, of course, will be brand new, unused from the Beached by Sherilyn Korber shop on teespring.com. T-shirt comes in your size and your chosen color. I will let you know what colors are available. To win, comment below and tell me which Beached Club video you enjoyed the most this summer. Was it one of my paranormal investigations? Was it a character story? Was it a place? Post below and let me know, and you could win all of these fabulous prizes. The winning entry will be chosen at random. Please be sure to include a way for me to get in touch with you to let you know you've won. All entries must be posted by 7 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday, September 6th. Thank you all so much for spending the summer with me. This has been one huge learning curve for me, and I appreciate you bearing with me. I really hope you've enjoyed the summer as much as I have. I'm going to take a little bit of time off and prepare for Halloween. So plan on stopping by the Beach Club this October for our Halloween party. I have a couple things in mind. In the meantime, don't forget about 80s on the 8s on my Facebook page. We are now into the, if I can get angled, we're now into the second book of the vintage 1980s young adult series, Sunset High, and I post a chapter summary on every date that ends in 8. I also do 80s Throwback Thursday every Thursday and post a vintage 80s young adult book from my personal collection. National Novel Writing Month is coming up fast. It starts November 1st. So the Facebook group Write In with Sherilyn Korber will soon be gearing up again if you would like to write along with me each week in November. There is still plenty going on in the Sherilyn Korber social media world, and I hope to see you there. Thank you all again for hanging out at the Beach Club. Take care. I'll see you all again soon.